Hey everybody, what's going on, man? This is the H-Town Rundown, Houston Rockets basketball podcast. Thank you guys for joining us today. Let's jump right into the intro, baby. Man, what's good? It's so good to be back, guys. We took a little week hiatus there. We can have hiatus because things going on in Houston, man. I'm glad to see that you guys are, doing better, and the electric company out there is actually doing something finally for you guys. Brian, Donte, man, these are my co-hosts for the day, as per usual. What's good, guys? How you been, Donte? Let's start with you, bro. What's going on, man?
Man, everything been going on good. Been watching some summer league. Just chilling, man. Using Texas training camp starting back. But man, like I say, been watching, paying attention to all summer league team, man. So I can't we'll get to that in a minute, though. We'll get to that in a minute. I ain't want to say too much, but we'll get to it in a minute.
Yeah, we've been talking about the Summer League team. I can't wait. And Ryan, man, what's good, man? How you been? It's good to have you back on the show, and hopefully everything's all good with you.
Well, I'm glad to be back. And Reed Shepard's been hooping, but we're not going to overreact yet, and just got to thank God for another day. So,
absolutely, that's exactly the kind of positivity we're going to need, because the first stuff we're going to talk about today, out of everything we got to talk about, is something real spicy. We just want to jump right into controversial stuff today. The Houston Rockets, all right? There's a lot of team goals that we got to talk about. Who's the top priority and whatnot. Now, does the franchise believe in what we think is the top priority? It's going to be very fun and interesting today. So, Ryan, man, I'd like you to start us off. So for a lot of the times, the Houston Rockets community is always in turmoil on who the best player is and who needs to get paid the most, and who's going to do this and this and this. But let's just lay it out there, right? Some team goals first. What are some things you are hoping that we improve on going forward into next season?
What we improve on?
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. I just want to get 45 wins this season. That's my goal. I think it's not what we can improve on. It's Jalen Green needs to improve.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Green needs to be the best player this season for us. That's what we need. And I think that's the way that we can improve.
Interesting. So why do you think that Jalen, based on what you've seen, how is there success there with Jalen being the best player on the court?
Well, I think that if Jalen Green is our best player, that means he's moving the ball around. He's picking up defense even a little bit, and he's scoring, which is the three things that we need from him majorly. If he's passing the ball and he's scoring consistently, let's say he's averaging 20 and 5, 20 and 6 a game, that's all we need for him to get to at least 45 wins a season.
Interesting. I like your theory. Now, that's coming out real hot, saying Jalen Green needs to be our best player, considering how phenomenal Alperen was last year. I mean, he was essentially a borderline.
But here's what I think. I think that if Jalen Green is swinging the rock more as well as scoring, that means the ball is in other people's hands more, and he's getting the ball less, but taking just as many shots.
Yeah, I see the concept there. I mean, him being consistent, I think, is what it boils down to.
Consistency is what's going to get us to where we need to be.
I mean, he still averaged 18, 19 last year.
It was like 19, yeah.
And that was him being inconsistent as hell. Yeah, he still averaged 19 despite being unbelievably inconsistent right at the beginning of the half. And March saved his career, kind of, is what it sounds like.
Right.
But that is definitely an interesting thing to see that you're so high on the Jalen Green aspect there. On Donte, I want to rebuttal, right? I mean, is there success with Jalen Green being our best player, or do you think it's got to go through LP?
I think the offense goes through LP, but I think it's going to take Jalen Green to probably blossom to make us even more dangerous. Like I say again, just like last year, just think about if Jalen Green would have had a great first half. If he played that first half how he played that second half,
Mm-hmm.
the Rockets will probably be a playoff team at that point of time. We probably won most of those games that we lost in that first half. But other than that, again, I think we need Jalen Green to blossom. If he can get us by like 23 to 24 points per game, I think that makes this team more unstoppable. I think that makes this team more capable of beating anybody and being a playoff team. But another goal, I just need people to stay healthy. Tyrese wasn't healthy all last year. That hampered all defensive lot. Fred VanVleet, those times he didn't play. But I believe that was more on resting him more than him being kind of injured. I just need this team to be healthy. If this team can be healthy, then I will be fine. I will be fine with that. But for this team to take off, I believe Jalen Green is going to have to average at least 23 to 24 points per game, and to be that scoring guard that he was drafted to be.
For sure. Yeah, and that's very interesting. And that kind of boils down to, I think what we're all saying is Jalen Green just needs to be consistent. I feel like in a nutshell, if we can
I don't think he needs to be consistent. He needs to be consistent, but he needs to be great.
I don't think he necessarily needs to be great. I think he needs to be,
because if he's not great and he's not consistent for us, that's pulling our team's weight down.
I think if he's consistently good, he doesn't need to be consistently great. I don't need him putting up 30 a night, because you got LP who can do that, right? You got Jalen who can do that. You still got Fred who may not give you 30 every night, but he can get you a 30 here or there. That's really interesting from Fred VanVleet's perspective. Plus, I mean, we got Reed Shepherd now off the bench. That's another guy. Cam Whitmore. I mean,
we got so many scores now.
We do, and I think with Reed there, it really helps open up the floor, right? Because last year, I mean, you had Jeff Green, Jayshawn Tate, and Jack Landale playing on the court at the same time. Like, there's no spacing there. If Jeff Green was hitting that corner three, I mean, I was jumping out of my chair, because that's not his game. He can hit it, but defenders aren't necessarily respecting him entirely out there. Now you're going to have, potentially, Cam sitting in the corner. You're going to have Tari sitting in the corner. You're going to have Reed probably running pick and roll with some variation of Steven Adams and or Alperen Sengun, and Jabari Smith Jr. possibly out there all at the same time. That's a 4-out offense with Steven Adams being the brick wall he is. I mean, we're not even asking him to put up 10 points a game. We just need to set the hardest screens of your life, and we'll keep coding. You know what I mean? But I think that does leave a lot of room for us to grow in certain aspects. The thing that I want to see the most is building some sort of way to be able to be not just like team chemistry wise, like have a flow of offense, but be able to get back into rhythm when we can't hit like a bucket. You know what I mean? Like, how can we go draw a foul? If we're like, all of our shots are missing. Cam's bricking. Jalen hasn't hit a shot all game. LP, he's passing the rock, but he's not getting any assists. How are they going to go get a bucket? And the easiest way to do that is go to the free throw line. So hopefully that is something that is going to be more that they're able to pick up going forward. But that's what I'd like to see. And then obviously 45 wins would be great. Honestly, we won 41 last year. If we win 43,
I don't think 45 is unrealistic.
I'm not saying it's unrealistic.
No, I know.
But the whole West got better. We got better, but the West in general got better.
Yeah, the West did get better.
Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know. There's a lot of things that I'd like to see going on. But I honestly, we win 43, 44 wins. That's not terrible. That's not terrible to me. I think that puts us in a pretty good spot, especially with certain teams getting better around us that we'll talk about here in a few minutes. It's going to be really tough, and we're going to have to not, have a poor start. We can't go 0-3, then win 3 straight, and then lose 3, and then win 3. No, we got to
just. Not only is the West getting better, I think a lot of people forgot John Morant's coming back this season too.
Yeah.
The Grizzlies are going to be a problem too now.
Yeah, that's something to say. I mean, John Morant coming back, he was top 3 in MVP voting 2 seasons ago?
Yep.
Whatever it was, he was phenomenal.
Yeah. I mean, he was getting compared to D Rose because he was doing so well. But enough blazing on John Morant. The Grizzlies are going to get better. They're going to be better this season. Now, I want to know the top priority of the team, right? Who is our top guy? Everyone wants to say, not everyone, I guess. That's why it's a conversation. A lot of people like to say Alperen Sengun. That's just an easy answer, right? He's pretty good. He's phenomenal. but is he top guy going forward? Is he the man, right? Because Ryan, you're over here saying like Jalen Green is potentially the guy that needs to be, the dude. So I'm just interested. I mean, do you believe that there's winning culture with Alfred Sengun being the de facto number one, or do you think it's got to be another player?
I think it's got to be Jalen Green.
Interesting. Why is that?
Well, I think that if Jalen Green is playing his best ball and he's not holding the ball so much, that means he's passing the rock around as well. And if he's passing the rock around as well, let's say he's getting 5 assists a game. What did he have this season? Like 3 or 4? Let's say he's getting some more assists a game. That means he's scoring and he's passing the ball. And I think that's what affects our team the most.
Interesting. So you want Jalen to become more of a combo guard, than rather a just a pure scorer.
Exactly.
Interesting. Donte, man, I want to know what you want to think about that. Our boy Ryan thinks that the best way we're going to be able to win is with Jalen Green becoming more of a playmaker and being a combo guard rather than what he came to do is scoring. I'm interested.
I'm not saying that that needs to be his priority, but I'm saying that if he does do that, we get better as a team immediately. We get a lot better.
Yeah. So Donte, what do you think about that?
I think LP is our best player. I think he's our best player. I think everything runs through him. Before, like I was saying, Jalen Green, for us to get farther, he's gonna have to blossom. LP is already pretty much blossomed at that point. I can just really see him getting better. I can actually really see him getting better and better and becoming into the All-Star. The only reason he may not become an All-Star because the West got so many great players and so many great centers and stuff, big men in the league, they may overshadow him. So I believe LP is the focal point of this squad. And I say just because they ain't offering contracts yet, they don't have to feel pressure to do it. They're gonna do it at some point. I believe they will do it at some point, but they don't have to
do it next summer.
Yeah. But other than that, I think LP is out. Like I said, we discussed Press 2 years ago. LP was our best player. He's our best player, and I think everything runs through him. But for this team to take another leap, I think we're going to need Jalen Green in consistency. And basically, if he can just shoot the ball efficiently, we'll be fine. We'll just be fine. And if LP somehow to go down, that's an opportunity for Jalen Green to show, hey, I deserve to be here. I deserve to be a part of the team as well as LP do. But other than that, I think LP, everything goes through LP. I think he's our best player, most important player. But I think Jalen Green, for us to go places, I think he will have to blossom more. I think he will have to blossom, but I think LP is our best player.
For sure. Now, this is obviously some overhype here, but we saw Reed in Summer League, and obviously we'll talk about most of it going forward. But I'm interested to see what bringing Reed Shepard in means for Amen Thompson, right? Because he played a lot of point guard, He played a lot of point guard. So I'm interested if Amen is going to be more of a forward, because he did play a lot of forward last year with Ime. He played a lot of small forward, power forward, especially subbing in and out for Dylan Brooks mainly, Jabari Smith Jr., and then, of course, Fred VanVleet, when we need the tertiary point guard. So I'm interested. Do you think Reed is more likely to become a point guard than Amen?
Well, Reed's a lot smaller, so yes. But I also expect Reed to probably be playing a lot of shooting guard. Mm-hmm. And I think it also really just depends on the rotations and lineups that Udoka wants to put in. For sure.
I mean, it really seems like, from what I saw in something like that, Reed's best movement was coming off ball. When he's able to get off ball and run around, that was when he was most effective.
I'm also not going to sit here and overreact. Yes, Reed Shepard had a great summer league. Phenomenal. But he's a rookie. Mm-hmm. We shouldn't be expecting him to get a lot of minutes every game. We shouldn't be expecting him to play crazy, consistent minutes until maybe the end of the season, kind of like Amen Thompson halfway through.
Yeah, exactly. And Amen only played so much because, Tyree Eason was out and Sengun was out, so there's going to be some room for opportunity there. But I do agree with you. Of course, this is all speculation, although we do like to do a little fun drops here or there. I'm just interested to see where Amen Thompson's growth is going to lead him. Now, my next question is, you brought up earlier how people are going to get paid next season and whatnot. My question is, I saw how much Cade Cunningham got paid. I just watched how much OG Anunoby got paid, right? A non-rookie, just a 3-and-D guy, right? Alperen Sengun is probably going to ask for the bag. if I'm not mistaken. And, so is Jalen Green. Is it going to be either or? Is it going to be an either or question, or do you think there's a world where we can sign them both still?
Well, I think that they'll probably give Şengün the max, but it also really depends on the season. I think that's why they're waiting for next season to see who performs best this season.
Interesting.
Because if Jalen Green really has a crazy breakout season this year and he plays like he played all of March, I think he could get that max.
Yeah, I mean, if he averages 30 a game, then yeah, that's pretty easy. But I mean, say he averages 22 on 56.5% true shooting. Are you offering him the max?
I'm still going to give it to LP.
Yeah,
I think.
Because I mean, let's be honest, Alpi's numbers are going to look similar or better, but they won't look worse. Like, just generally, the only thing that might look worse is probably his rebounding, just because now you got Steven Adams, we still have Jock and Jabari and Amen and Tari. It's not that LP's rebounding less; it's just that we have that. So
not Jock.
Hey man, the Jock strap went off against Team USA. So.
Hey, he had a great game against USA.
He did. So we got to give him.
I can say he had a great game.
Yep, you got to give him his flowers. Donte, now you're the GMC, right? I mean, we were kind of talking about if, but I mean, based on this season, right? I mean, Alperen Şengün should have been offered the max, right? That's kind of how I see it, right? So, do you feel some type of way about Şengün not having the max right now? Is there something going on?
No, I don't feel no type of way. Like just like we didn't have to rush to get James Harden out of Houston, we ain't got to rush to give them no max because they still got to play this season out. They still got to play, so you no rush to even do it. Or don't in mid-season, depends on how they're playing. You can offer them the max. You can offer him a max during mid-season if he's an all-star or if he plays well. Or you can offer Jalen a little bit of money, but I don't think Jalen will get the max deal. The only way I think Jalen gets a max deal if he somehow averaged 30-some points per game, I think that would end up changing. But I think LP is deserving. That's the one I would give the actual max to, and I would pay Jalen Green some, a good little couple of dollars, but not for us to the max extent. That's up to him if he would want to stay or not. And he's got that kind of Jalen Green looks like he kind of got that little ego that I want the max. I don't want to settle for nothing less. I want the max. But if he don't want the max, then that's fine with me. Then you make him walk. You make him walk, and we'll just figure out something else. But like I said again, I believe he's going to take the money that Ime Udoka them give him. But I believe I'll focus on LP with the max first. That's my main focus on. And I think they probably will wait mid-season to see how we're doing, or after the season to decide which one of those is going to get the max.
For sure. I mean, there's only so much money that we can give, and we're seeing great teams that have like more than 4 or 5 people putting up like the $35-40 million a year, a la the Suns, and they're looking like they're getting ready to just blow it up because they're making too much money and not getting anywhere.
Paying?
Jaylen Brown and Tatum both have $300+ million contracts essentially.
Derek White is also on a crazy contract too now.
Yep. And Drew Holiday, I think, got an extension. The only one that isn't making a lot of money right now is Kristaps because he hasn't been extended, I believe. But otherwise, yeah, the Celtics, I mean, they are so deep in the tax. It's incredible.
Where does someone get that much money from?
I don't know. There's some money laundering going on there. There has to be because there's no way, And so that runs us into the question of what we've got today is, I mean, like look at Cam Whitmore. Is he going to be the kind of guy that's like, yeah, man, I'll take half of the rookie max?
Nope.
You know what I mean? Is Jalen Green the kind of guy that's like, hey, I'm going to take half or 3/4,
I think it really depends on their situation. I think Cam Whitmore is in a situation where he will say no.
Yeah, for sure.
I think Jalen Green is in a situation where he'll probably say yes.
It could be. But again, I mean, there's so many bad teams out there that are throwing away contracts. I mean, they're still paying Ben Simmons over on the Nets $40 million a year instead of buying him out. That's how desperate they are, right? They'd rather be so bad at Ben Simmons sitting on their roster than buy him out and try to sign anybody else. You know what I mean? And that's similar to other teams. I mean, you saw last year with the Spurs, they had Wemby, but they won like 20 games, right? The Pistons lost 27 straight. And they traded away their veteran and
Beat the Celtics?
Yeah, I don't care who they beat. They lost 27 straight. And they traded away their veteran piece in Bojan Bogdanovic, you know? So it just really depends. Obviously, like in the situation for sure, but I mean, a bad team is willing to throw money at anybody.
They traded Bogdanovic, but now they have Tobias.
Yeah. They got Toby over there.
Who else is it now? Is it Wesley Matthews maybe? Is that who it is?
I don't know. Pistons, I don't really,
Pistons fans would feel bad.
I feel bad for them and Wizards fans. Wizards fans are down bad right now, man. I can't wait to talk about Summer League. But let's move on. So we're talking about other teams in the league right now. So I'm interested. There's a lot of moves that were made that we kind of talked about before. You know, Paul George, the Sixers, notably to the East, even though we really, really thought we were going to attempt to get Paul George. That was a likely scenario, but ended up getting paid a lot of money over with the Sixers. James Harden also stayed with the Clippers, so that's something notable as well. And with the Clippers, they signed Kevin Porter Jr. Looks like he's being given a second chance, so we'll see how that goes as well. Russell Westbrook just got traded to Denver today for a second-round pick swap and cash. Today, for a second-round pick swap in 2030. I'll be 30 years old, and some cash for Chris Dunn, I believe. Chris Paul loves all the Texas teams in the South, apparently. He's playing for the Spurs now, you know. And then DeMar DeRozan took a huge pay cut to go play with the Kings. Now, I'm interested. Are any of these moves I mentioned, or if there's some moves I haven't mentioned, are any of these moves, like, are they hurting us at all? Are we now, like, not to say scrambling, but are we, are we affected?
I don't really know if DeMar DeRozan going to the Kings is hurting us too much.
Interesting.
That kind of sounds absurd, but, like, I really just don't think it does.
He's got done putting up 25.
Yes, he's a great player, don't get me wrong, but, like, I still think we could beat them.
In the play-in series, you think we're beating if we get matched up against them? If we're the 9th and 10th seed, you think we're...
Look, I know I sound delusional, but I think we could.
Okay.
No bias.
Okay. No, that's fair. That's totally fair.
But that also goes back to, does Jalen Green want to play defense this season?
And that's what we're going to find out.
I brought up earlier, and Jalen Green needs to play defense.
Yes, that's what we're going to find out. Now, is there any other moves? Donte, do you have any moves that that were made over the offseason that you're like, towards Houston? Anything interesting at all? I mean, Chris Paul is playing on the Spurs now. They got Lob City 2.0 over there.
Nah, I don't think neither one of the moves that everybody made hurted us at all. Like, this is what we wanted. We wanted the team to stay together. We didn't want none of our young core 7 to be, gone at all. We figured they were going to get another year to prove who's going to be on this team on the upgoing future. But something that you didn't mention, or we all did not mention, that speaking of the bag, you can't forget the kid from Orlando, Wagner, got the bag. The younger one.
Yeah, he did.
He got paid this offseason. He got paid a lot of money. So, I mean, Jalen Green and LP looking at that right now. And, hey, man, their eyes lighting up. But, again, I say I'm not mad that neither one of them get paid, or the Rockets said we're not in contract talks right now. They're going to wait till during the season probably, or after the season. Just basically see how the season goes to pay either one of them, or if they want to pay both. But this is what we wanted. Like DeMar DeRozan, Paul George, probably would love to have Paul George here, but we don't breaking up our young core now. Keep everything the same. We can compete. We can definitely compete.
For sure. I mean, you want to hear something crazy? This is what I think. I think Chris Paul going to the Spurs hurts us more than DeRozan to the Kings, and here's why. In the future, once Wemby acquires everything that Chris Paul teaches him, whether it's ball handling, passing the ball, he's also going to have new teammates around him in a few years. I think that might hurt us more, but that's in the future.
Yeah, the last thing I want Wemby to be able to do is be a playmaker.
Yeah,
because I don't want 7'5"
playmaker
running around.
7'5" Steph Curry.
That's not even good.
And I think that's what Chris Paul is going to do in San Antonio. So
yeah, see, he should have just came over here, played on the bench like 2-3 minutes a game, and wrote out his career and taught Amen how to be a point guard and Reed Shepherd how to move off ball. That would have been perfect. But now
he's going to turn Wembanyama into a 7'5" shot creating.
Or he might teach Trey Jones how to be
point guard.
An okay guard in the league, how to keep his job. He might teach Keldon Johnson to move back up into the starting lineup. He might teach Jeremy Sochan to shoot. My gosh, I can't forget about that.
Maybe to pass the ball to Wemby too.
And that's what they're going to teach is pass the ball to Wemby. But I do think that Chris Paul going to the Spurs is really interesting because, not that – like, I'm not going to disrespect the Spurs in the sense.
He wants to play with Wemby before he retires.
Yeah, right. And the thing about that is they have an elite playmaker that can still do it all. I mean, even when he played for the Warriors last season, whatever it was, he was still great off the bench for them. I mean, his assist turnover ratio, I believe, was best in the league, that he was coming off the bench. I don't know what he's probably just going to run up his assist numbers out there. Like he's literally just pick and roll with Wemby every play. Like that's what I would do. I would just spam pick and roll with Wemby. But regardless of what's going on, I do think that really hurts us because despite how how bad the Spurs were, they also just picked up another great rookie in the draft. So they've got a rookie that's looking really nice. They also have Chris Paul, and then they've got Wemby coming out, with whatever else they have. Could be really interesting for other teams in the league. I think they could still shave off a couple wins, which could also help us, I think, more than hurt us, because then it makes other teams more competitive playing against the Spurs specifically, right? Just as competitive as they need to be with us, I would say, in terms of seeding, right? They don't want to lose to that team anywhere. They're not going to schedule a loss it, they need to win. I think this year is really going to be like, hey, this is going to be kind of all out. This is war. Last season was World War I. This is World War II. Like if we being real, everyone's going to have to play. No rest days. Kawhi, your knees are going to have to not be Swiss cheese. All those kinds of things. Everyone's going to have to play.
I have a feeling James Harden's going to end up on the Spurs next year or in 2 years.
I hope not, bro. That'd be disgusting.
I really feel like he will. I don't know why. I just got a gut feeling about it. So
I'll tell your gut feeling to go away.
I'll come back to this. I'll come back to this in 2 years and clip this from the podcast.
Mm-hmm. Now, Donte, my question is, we talked a lot about the Spurs just now, but I mean, any other moves, Russell Westbrook to the Nuggets, I mean, that doesn't move me at all, unfortunately. And I love what Russ has been doing. It doesn't move me, But I think DeMar to the Kings does have a significant impact because he's replacing Harrison Barnes over there, and he's much better than Harrison Barnes. He's better at essentially everything.
Harrison Barnes is in San Antonio too now, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good move for them.
That's a huge move for the Spurs. Yeah. Do you think DeMar to the Kings does anything for us? Do you think we're affected by it negatively at all?
No, I don't think we are.
God, no one's afraid of DeMar DeRozan in the West, man. That's tough.
Not afraid of him.
Especially not because he pushed Jalen Green. I have no good. I can't say anything good about him except he's a great mid-range scorer. So he pushed Jalen Green and he got on my bad side immediately.
I actually think that Russell Westbrook is a solid move from Denver because they needed a backup point guard really, really bad. They needed a point guard really, really bad. So I think that actually is a solid move, and this could be his last opportunity to even win a championship right here. This could be the last.
Westbrook and Jokic are going to be fighting for triple doubles every night.
Oh my gosh, yeah, dude, that's going to be very interesting. You've got I think the top 3 in the league right now for all-time triple doubles. So that's going to be really interesting to see them. But I don't know. It's an interesting dynamic they're going to have going on over there. I, for one, am not excited for it. But we'll see what happens. Now, we didn't make a ton of moves in the offseason, right? We did sign Aaron Holiday, I believe. We got Jeff Green back. We got Jock Landale. We got AJ, who has been lackluster in the summer league, and I can't wait to talk about that. Yeah, we got Reed in the offseason, plus hopefully a healthy team. So do you think any of the moves we made helped or hurt us, Ryan?
I think Aaron Holiday helped.
Yeah.
I think Aaron Holiday is going to have a big presence as a veteran in the locker room, trying to teach our players in practice, get some good minutes on the floor when he needs to when there's injured players. So I think it's a good pickup for us. Good resign.
For sure. I'm very glad we kept Aaron Holiday.
And here's what I said. I think or before I said that Reed Shepard is going to fill those Aaron Holiday minutes. I think that Aaron Holiday is going to be a very good veteran for him.
Yes.
Because Aaron Holiday can shoot the ball too, and he's very good at shot creating and making his own space.
You can say that Reed Shepard is in the best position coming into the Houston Rockets than any of the rookies we've drafted so far.
Fred VanVleet, Aaron Holiday, Jalen Green.
You've got Jeff Green as well. Although they don't play the same position, he can teach them those leadership values. Those things that you need to have on a team. And then there's just other things. Too. Yeah, the defensive intensity from Brooks and Fred VanVleet alone. And then just the all-around game from Aaron Holiday, being a shooter, but being able to do a little bit of everything. I think this is great for Reed. I think he's got an opportunity to be really, really good here. And he's got the most help than any rookie we've gotten so far coming into the league.
Did y'all see the post with his girlfriend? It was like she said something like, I can't wait to see you in Rockets red or something. And then at draft night, the bottom of their shoes were both red.
No, I didn't. I saw her nails were red.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, I saw her nails were red, but I did not see that the shoes were red.
But
so
yeah,
he knew.
They knew.
Yeah, they knew. And
I remember I knew too, because on our first podcast we talked about it. I said it's Reed Shepard or no one.
And that's what they said in the interview was if they didn't get Reed
down.
Yeah, they were gonna trade out. And I think Reed is a fantastic pickup.
Phenomenal.
For us in the offseason. He's going to be able to help shore up the bench for sure with his offensive prowess, but also I think he's going to be, what do they always say? A sneaky good defender, just someone who's going to be able to be really good.
5 steals the other night?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. And playing under Fred VanVleet too.
That dude got some quick hands, bro. That dude hands
for real.
But it's real. Them hands are really quick. I think it was the second game of the summer league. I believe that's when we played the Wizards. No, it was Detroit. It was Detroit that I saw when we got whooped by Detroit in the fourth quarter. Man, it was a steal. It was a steal that Detroit got. Then they had a wide open bucket. Reed Shepard just comes out of nowhere and just swipes.
He snatched it. Yeah, I know what the play you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, he just comes out of nowhere, but he's been doing that all summer league. Even though he's small, but he can definitely hold his own, bro. He played. We'll get to that game. I'm gonna hold that off to summer league. I'm gonna hold that up to get to that topic on the summer.
And just you said that he's a small guard. It just makes perfect sense that he's playing under Fred VanVleet, the most perfect veteran leader he could have coming into the league.
Yep. I think other than Chris Paul, Fred VanVleet is gonna be the best point guard to train Reed.
Well, it could have been Steph Curry, but I'm glad it's not.
I'm just very excited to see what goes on, moving
forward
with the rest of the team.
I couldn't imagine Steph Curry and Rockets red, so that's why I'm saying I'm glad it's not Steph Curry.
And now, my opinion is controversial. Curry's not a real point guard, man. He's a 2 guard that can play make. He's a combo guard. That's what he is. He's not point guard. He plays the 1 because he's the smallest player on his team. That's what he is. But I don't know about that.
Is Steph Curry a top 5 player all time?
I'm not gonna have that conversation. I'm not about to have that conversation. No. So other moves that we made, other like not signing players, and we talked about team goals and whatnot. Now we talked about the consistency that Jalen needs, right? Alperen Şengün just continuing to progress, but I mean, we haven't even talked about anybody else. We haven't talked about how we need Cam to be more consistent. We'll talk about him.
No, you know what we need Cam to do? Pass the ball a little bit more.
Yeah, pass the Cameron never passed the rock Whitwell, bro.
Cam, the possession ends here, Whitmore.
Yeah, literally. We're gonna need, Jabari Smith Jr. And we didn't even talk about what we need from Jabari, who's gonna be someone who's gonna be very integral going forward in terms of being not just a spot up shooter, but the 3-level scorer that we know he can be. And we need him to fight for those rebounds, right? I think we kind of said that before. It's like we need him to be more aggressive on the block. I need his ass to fight for every damn rebound, especially having Steve Adams, which is, again, huge pickup for us, by the way. Last season, we're going to need them to be able to learn from Adams and like using their shoulders more, using their body to get those rebounds, those tough rebounds. But is there any other moves that we did or didn't make, perhaps, that you guys are interested in talking about before we move on?
Yes. What we have not done is trade Jock Landale, and we have not traded Jay Tate yet.
Hey, man, they still here. They got a purpose. They
They do. It's just not on the Rockets.
They Tate's a good veteran. And Jock can get you some rebounds. And he was setting really hard
We
screens.
should have brought Pat Bev.
No, that's too many guards. Way too many guards, folks. That's way
No,
too
I
many.
agree. I'm just a Pat Bev fan.
Yeah, way too many cards. Not that, is there any moves that we did or didn't make in the offseason that you'd like to discuss? Anything that you were a fan of or weren't a fan of?
No, we good. I think we did everything we probably expected. We needed some shooting. I think we did everything we expected us to do. We weren't gonna do too many big time moves, and I'm glad that we kept our 2 veterans in the locker room too, because we probably got the best veteran locker room probably down in the league. You know, when you talk about Fred VanVleet, when you even talk about Jeff Green, who's one of the best veterans in the NBA, and you also got Aaron Holiday. When someone get hurt, you know, he can fill in for him. So, you know, we did what we needed to do. I'm glad we got the core back and we running it back.
Yes.
There's one thing we didn't do. Y'all remember when TJ said that we should trade for who was it? The Hawks small forward.
Oh, yeah. We got Griffin instead of.
Yeah, we got the wrong Hawks small forward.
Nah, man. We Griffin. He can be something, right?
On this team, I don't really know.
So that's it for our midsection segment. Nothing more on the offseason to go, but we are talking about AJ Griffin, so let's talk about him first for Summer League. Donte, give me your thoughts on Summer League. AJ Griffin specifically, who's been interesting. Please take it away, man.
Boy, I had to laugh because Summer League roster outside of Reed Shepard is so bad, boy. I'm not gonna lie. It's really bad. That's why I had to laugh like that.
Yeah.
But what I see the last 2 days, and I'm kind of disappointed by AJ Griffin. Maybe again, he's 20 years old. He's still young. I still think it's an outside shot. He does make the roster, but other than that, the way he played, he shouldn't make the roster. Not very impressive. It just seemed like, you know, he's getting welcome. He's getting acclimated back into the league because he's been hurt for so long. Atlanta, it just seemed like a lot. It was a lot. He too much. Whatever he's trying to create, he couldn't even get separation at all. He doesn't really have too much lift on his jump shot. And when he's trying to post up those smaller defenders, he's trying to do too much of that footwork stuff that I really don't like, instead of shooting over those smaller defenders. AJ Griffin just really an overall struggle. He can find ways to put the ball in the basket. He's a smooth shooter, but he seems to do too much because he feel like he has something to prove that he can make he can make an NBA roster. I think that's what got to AJ Griffin more than anything, but very disappointed the way AJ Griffin did play. He wasn't too much efficient either. And he doesn't look the playmaker a lot. He needs the ball in his hand. You can tell the way he plays. He needs the ball in his hands to be effective. You can tell the way he plays.
Oh, literally 100%. I couldn't say that any better. I mean, like I said, AJ Griffin's turn in Houston has been lackluster. Just in the summer, and we saw what Cam Whitmore looked like for his first 2 games. Boy, crazy out there, man. Yeah, he was a big dog, like a dog's barking. I was enjoying Cam Whitmore out there, but AJ, man, I was not having a good time watching AJ. I mean, his catch and shoot was okay. Like, it looked great in the corner when Reed was like giving him the rock, but other than that, like, yeah, the separation and self-creation was really not there. I was very disappointed, actually. Not that I had seen much film on him, but I mean, at the end of the day, also we traded away a 44th pick for AJ Griffin. So like it's not like it's just an experiment, right? We're not losing out on anything with this. And like you said, he's still 20 years old, and he's still young. He's still got a lot of potentially untapped talent. But Ryan, what do you think of AJ?
Well, I can't speak. I did not get to watch Summer League. I was in Florida, and so I'll be honest about that. But when I saw the clips, Reed Shepard is a hooper. Yeah, that kid is special. And another thing I think is Alex Sarr, he has some improving to do.
Yeah, you telling me he went 0-15 in the game.
Yeah, and then with AJ Griffin, obviously, I didn't get to watch. I saw no highlights on Twitter of AJ Griffin, so that can only say one thing about him. So, but maybe there's a team that wants him in a trade package.
He looked really great on certain catch and shoot shots throughout the, like it wasn't like all bad. He is a catch and shooter, I think, in the corner. I think that's completely plausible. And hopefully Donte agrees with me on that. I think he can be a catch and shooter, I just don't think that it's going to be, I don't think he's going to be putting the ball in for much. Unless it's a give and go, but otherwise, I do not see him really being a 3-level scorer. He's all right, you stand there and wait till you get the ball. That's your whole position. He's gonna play that Tim Hardaway Jr. Last year position essentially is what I'm getting at. But enough about AJ, right? A lot of the negatives here. Let's talk about the positives. About Reed Shepherd, Donte, man. Talking about Reed, man. That guy was electric every play. I was so excited to watch him play.
Well, it's a lot of positives about Reed Shepherd. I mean, playmaking ability, his defense, able to stay in front of guys, quick hands. You can see him kind of being a leader on the floor every time. I didn't see no type of time, when they were pressuring him on the defensive side or he turned the ball over. I didn't see no point of time that a point guard that him getting rattled on the floor. I didn't see no point of time. Anytime someone makes a mistake or he makes a mistake, if you feel like it's fault, you shake their hand, you give somebody wow, I like that.
I'll be right back. Hold on, I gotta take care.
And again, and he can shoot when he's not making that 3-pointer. That mid range is deadly. That mid range is deadly. That's some Chris Paul type stuff right there.
Mm-hmm.
They're not making the 3-point shot as he wasn't pretty much. He's shooting that mid range. He can get to the basket. I like the way last night Daisha Nix was pressuring him full court, and he went right to the basket, made an and-1, and looked at him like he wasn't nothing. So I like that aggressiveness in Reed. So he's also very good at going to the rim and creating contact and finishing at the rim pretty much. And we all know he's got very good leaping ability as a 6'2" guard. And he has a 42-inch vertical too. That's
42-inch vertical, baby.
Oh, he showed that a lot too when he was dunking the ball and stealing the ball. But it's a lot of positive by Reed. But it was basically the roster around him just so bad, just so goddamn bad, man. That around him. Teams was trying to game plan to take him up out of the Detroit Pistons, Minnesota Timberwolves. Well, they did everything they could to take him up out the game because the roster around him was just so bad.
100%, dude. I was honestly surprised at how well not just the Pistons were able to take out Reed out of the offense, but then how the Wolves were able to do it. And it was nice to see some Rob Dillingham versus Reed Shepherd game going on. That was really fun back and forth. I loved it. I think they played on the same team together. It's just, it sucks to lose, so it what it is. And if there's one thing I hate losing, it's not just losing against any team, but it's losing to the Pistons, bro. I don't care what their young core look like. We should not be losing to the Pistons. We should not be getting our ass busted by the Pistons. That was just terrible. But okay, here you go.
All right. One thing about it, I would say, when they tried to take him out of the game, but he still got 15 and 20 last night. He still got 20 points.
He did.
And pretty efficient, not efficient from the 3. He was over 5 from 3. But 7 of 15, not too bad from the field. Detroit, he struggled from the field. I didn't think he had a bad game against Detroit. I just thought he had a bad shooting game against Detroit. That's a difference. Just because you have a bad shooting game, you had a bad game at all. It's just you had an actually bad shooting game, but he still had 15 points against Detroit, even though he was taken out of the game. They tried to take him away. Just hopefully, they'll just happily count Whitmore. You didn't expect him to go 1 for 15 in that type of ball right now, and you didn't expect to start missing all them. If Donte start missing all them damn layups, you expect him to be doing all that, not playing defense. How he's projected to be playing defense. You saw when he didn't get back on defense last night. You saw Coach Garrett Jackson take some right out in the first quarter, like the start of the game, to put Orlando Robinson, who's been balling, who's been balling for us, who should get a two-way contract.
Yes. Orlando Robinson has looked absolutely phenomenal, to say the least. I just like Orlando Robinson has been absolutely phenomenal. I'm all for it, dude. How was he drafted? I don't know if he's played minutes. I have no clue where this kid came from.
Orlando Robinson?
Yeah, dude.
He was on the Heat last season, and then he got some good rotation minutes with them.
Yeah, I can tell that man.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he looks phenomenal out
He's
there.
very good. I've been saying it since last season when I saw that he was on the Heat.
Yeah, he looked. Yeah, he
I
looked
think
great.
that any young player who comes from the Heat is bound to be a good product somehow. If you're playing under Eric Spoelstra as a rookie, I think you'll be decent. Pretty good.
Interesting comment. Interesting comment.
I'm also I like the Heat, so
yeah.
Tyler Herro's my favorite player.
Get this fake Rockets fan out of here, bro.
Hey.
Get the fake Rockets.
Born and raised in Houston. No fake Rockets over here.
But nah, man. It's just really interesting to see Orlando play so well. For us, I'm surprised no one else picked him up, especially again the Pistons, who have nobody. I'm not understanding what they're thinking over there. But if we can collect these guys like Pokemon cards out there, we might as well just keep take everything we can get. There's no such thing as too many good guys on your team. But the interesting thing is, like you said, man, Reed was, he had a mid game against
Preston.
the Pistons.
Would you say that Jock Landale is a good player?
I would say he is an effective screen setter and a solid rebounder, and can play defense when necessary.
I think sometimes there are a little bit too many places for a good player on the team.
I think he's a solid player. I think he's okay. I think he is.
Yeah, see, Donte. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, man. Yeah, he plays for Houston. He wears Houston red. So guess what we do? We gonna support him. That's what we do. Just like I support Dylan Brooks.
You just can't you can't overlook that second half he had, bro. You just can't do that. You can't do that. That's better than that, man.
And again, he went off against Team USA, bro. Had 30 points against Team USA, bro. He scored 30.
Yeah, 30 points
20,
against the best team in the country. Against the best team.
No, I'm not giving you any slack with Jock Landale.
He went 9 of 12 from the field. All right, he had 20 points. And that was on Embiid and AD, Bam, LeBron. Yeah, okay. Hey.
Are we 41 and 41 without him? Without him? Are we saying?
Nah, because we ain't gonna have a center without him. Şengün was out. Who's gonna play?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Are we 41 and 41 without Jock Landale playing?
Jeff Green.
Oh my goodness.
Fuck you, goofy, bro. Yeah, man. There's no way this.
Yeah, you definitely hate the man. You hate the man.
Yeah, bro. Hey,
there's no hate in my body.
Yeah, he said there's no hate both in my body. But
what did Kendrick say? He said there's no hate.
You don't have a hate bone in your body, but you hate the way he walks, hate the way he talks.
Yeah, and the way he dresses.
Anyway, we ain't quoting Kendrick up here. Summer League though, man. Let's get back to the Rockets, man. No, man. No. Let's back to the Rockets, man. Gosh, what else is there to say? Alex Sarr looks like doo-doo, and I feel really bad for the Wizards franchise right now.
I feel bad for their fans.
Yeah, dude. Like you said, they drafted a QB. I mean, bro was trying to do pull-up threes, and that man, I don't know, last time he hit a 3 in his career.
Who, Sarr?
Sarr, bro.
Bronny hit one from 3.
Huh?
Bronny hit one first.
That's the thing also. You're getting outplayed by the 55th pick in the draft.
Who shouldn't be getting as much media attention as he is because he's not good.
He's not terrible.
He's
not terrible, I think he is getting more attention than he deserves, perhaps. But he's not terrible.
There's no other 55th pick overall who's getting this much attention anywhere. It's just because he's a James.
Do you blame him? Hey, man, if I'm LeBron, man, I do the same thing. Yeah, you pick my son. That's what you're doing. If I was probably in his position, it's the same thing.
You're a little bit riding a bit, bro.
No, there is no riding. It's just facts. You're telling me if you were 40 years old and someone could get drafted, you wouldn't try to stay in the league so he get drafted to your team?
I mean, I would.
But
he's getting too much media attention.
It's okay.
I can't scroll through Instagram without seeing Bron and James everywhere. It's annoying. I'm getting tired of it.
Brownie does get a lot of attention. But hey,
Bronny goes 0 for 17 from 3. Bronny finally hits a 3. Bronny dunks. Bronny James passes the ball.
You know who I haven't heard anything about? Zach.
Yeah, I saw one post about him today.
Interesting.
And it was stat line of his first game as an Atlanta Hawk.
Dude. It is what it is, man.
You say what?
Huh? Oh, his first stat line as an Atlanta Hawk. Was it good, Ryan?
It was like 18-5 and something. I
You
believe.
talking about Zach?
Yeah.
Yeah. His first game was really good.
And that's what I like to see. But why is that ball holding?
Like Reed Shepard been the best player in this draft so far.
Yeah, what are the Hawks thinking? What are the Wizards thinking?
No, I think Zach is. You know who else been really good though? Since we talk about, you know who else been really good? Boozella's been really.
Boozella's been good.
Yeah, he's been really good.
Do y'all remember when we were talking about trading up for the first pick to possibly draft Star? I'm so glad we never did that.
That's why I'm not the GM.
Thank you, Rafael Stone, my favorite lawyer of all time.
That ass, man. He was going off, and he's picked us the right guys so far throughout the entire draft. Josh Christopher.
Apology form. People need to start signing that.
Literally. I don't know if you guys saw Josh Christopher was hooping in the G League too. He was going crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, he went like 100%, like 30-point, 100% game or something like that. Just absolutely insane.
I think he'll get picked up by the Heat.
I'd be okay with that. I want him. I want him in the league. He needs to be in the league. He's solid.
He should be.
But yeah, I mean that's really the summer league, right? It's really interesting. It sucks that we are now 2-2. But I mean, yeah, summer league roster is not looking clean, man. That thing is
2-2. But Reed Shepard will still be the MVP.
Yeah, he actually might be though. He really might be though. He was going.
Might be. No, he will be. There's no might.
He's like what? He's leading the league in rookie points or something like that so far.
Yeah,
I think they have a total of 80 points.
Yeah,
in summer league. Yep.
In 4 games, and that's despite him having one like really lackluster game. You know, he had what was it? He had 15 on 17 shots.
We just had a bad overall goddamn roster.
Mm-hmm.
And he's still able to do that.
Yeah, man. And if you could just take one guy out of the flow of his game, one guy out of the offense. I mean, you see it in the NBA, right? A lot of teams where they're superstar driven, like usually back in the day, when you take Giannis out, they're getting blown out by 25. You know, when Giannis isn't on his game, they was getting blown out by 25, 30 a game, you know. Or wait, like earlier Celtics before Jaylen Brown started to become really good.
Just think about guys what Will said them last night and Brad. If Reed Shepard, just think about how much better Reed Shepard is on the active roster right now, on our roster, on the real roster. Just think about how much better and efficient he would be instead of him playing last night and them other guys making him look like bad. Like, again, another player that I'm kind of disappointed in that I thought that played really well in the time he got last year when he was given time. Jermaine Samuel, I thought he played.
Yeah, he was good.
He was not good at all in this summer league. I'm very disappointed.
No, he had a good season though.
Yeah, he had a good season last year. Yeah, I'm talking about in the summer league. I thought he'll take that next leap because he's being a part of being out there in the NBA. He played out there in the NBA before for us. He got some minutes. Even though they was garbage time minutes a lot last year, but he played sometime. And he struggled in the summer league get going. Donte, he struggled a lot. I was actually high on him coming into the summer league. I didn't think he was gonna make none of the roster or nothing like that. I thought he was gonna be in the G League, but I expect highly of him because his rebounding ability he did at Oregon and his defense, and he really showed none of that. So most of the guys that we had that was on the roster, kind of like last year, they kind of disappointed. But Nate Williams did what he could. Nate Williams was actually pretty good too.
Yeah. It's just hard to be productive at all when your whole roster is just doo-doo. Like realistically, you know what I mean? Like just, so the fact that Reed has been able to be as good as he is, just I think speaks volumes. So yeah, I mean, imagine Reed playing with our guys right now. That's gonna be a game changer. I mean, being able to have a potentially consistent 3-point shooter, hopefully. Although it hasn't been consistent, but he's hitting the free throws right, and the mid range is real. So that's what gives me hope that the 3-point will come along once he starts shooting it more in the actual NBA. Plus, he's not getting double like that. Coming off the bench for the Rockets, he ain't getting double like that, And if he is, who's gonna be open? Jabari Smith Jr., Jalen Green, Cam Whitmore. Good luck, guys. Good luck. Good luck.
You know what? I caught the announcement man saying the other night. I believe when we was playing against the Pistons, and Nate Williams shot the basketball from the corner. Reed Shepard gave him the ball, pretty pass in the corner. And you know what he said after Nate Williams missed that? He said, "In the corner, that's Jabari Smith in the corner right there."
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Oh man, this season's gonna be really fun.
It's gonna be a very
so excited. Before we get out of here, was there anything, Ryan? You look like you had something to say there. I don't want to leave you hanging. Do you got anything else about the summer league? Any notes at all?
My notes, just don't overreact. I think a lot of people are overreacting right now. I think my biggest takeaway is just don't overreact. And
Well, are you telling me that Reed Shepard isn't the GOAT?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that he probably won't get a lot of minutes until the second half of the season. Don't expect a lot of minutes at the start of the season. Don't expect summer league Reed Shepard in his first few games in the league. First season, if anything.
For sure. That we got to keep the hype. Keep
Yeah.
it contained.
Still the best rookie in the draft.
Yeah, he's looking like it. He looks like the number one pick.
Not overreacting.
Yeah. Before we do go, I do want to say Donovan Clingan has been okay. He's been defensively like I thought he would. He's been a solid defensive piece. I think he's going to look great next to Jaren Jackson Jr. and then playing alongside John Morant. That's going to be.
Dillingham also hasn't been bad.
Dillingham was crazy against us. You roll it off.
What do you have?
Yes.
Last night?
Yeah, something like that. I thought you had like 18.
I think it was 15.
Yeah. But yeah, he was pretty good. He had a bad shooting game, but that don't mean he had a bad game last night. He was pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. Other than that, Donte, you got anything for us before we scat out of here?
Yeah, I'm gonna say, man, like I say, I'm not gonna overreact on Reed Shepard, but I do think it's an opportunity. He will be in the rotation. I think that could be a solid opportunity. He's not gonna drop, 20 or 23 points or nothing like that. He's not gonna do that. He's gonna play his role. He's gonna play, and I think that's all he needs to do. So I do think in training camp day one, I do think he has an opportunity to make an impact on this team. I do think he has an opportunity to play.
I agree. I 100% agree. Now, before we go, still giving away this boy out here. This is one of the last days for it. All right, you want that Tari Eason inspired bobblehead? Go ahead, comment down below if you agree or disagree with some of our thoughts today. Do you think Reed Shepard is actually the prodigy we've been waiting for? Do you think Reed Shepard is actually going to be a bust? Anything? Do you disagree or agree with our conversation today? Just let us know in the comments down below, man. And then we'll check it out and get you this Tari Eason bobblehead, man. I'm super excited to announce the winner here in the coming days. So be sure to post. And thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. Ryan, man, where can I find you, bro?
At RyanDime15 on Twitter, at RyanDiamond15 on Instagram.
Right on, man. Right on. I appreciate you coming in today. It's always fantastic talking Rockets ball with you, brother. For sure. Coach, man, where can I find you, brother? You got a YouTube channel. You got all other stuff, man. You do your own stuff. Occasionally, he's also on the 7200 Seconds podcast. It's very interesting out there. But Donte, man, where can I find you?
Man, y'all can find me everywhere. Y'all can find me here on my YouTube channel, on IG at Coach Donte5. Yeah, I changed the name. Y'all can find me on X, Coach Donte5. I'm gonna change it to Coach Donte5 as well. So other than that, I say, man, y'all find us, and y'all can also find me on Raw Robin. When all of us on there as well.
Robin.
That's new. That's a new roundtable right there. We're gonna be discussing a lot during the season and the preseason and stuff, and training camps and stuff like that. But yeah, man, y'all can find me everywhere, and y'all can find me also. The Rockets roster, Summer League roster was just god awful, man. That was probably the worst roster I saw throughout the whole Summer League. But other than that, yeah, that's what y'all can find me on.
For sure, man. He said it best, man. That was one of the worst rosters in Summer League for sure. One of the worst we've had in a long time. But we're super excited to see what goes on going forward. Super excited for Reed Shepard. Be sure to follow me at grip2ps_GAWD on the X app or Twitter. What do you guys want to call it these days? As well as Instagram, same name. Super excited. Thank you guys for joining us today. And then be sure to follow my Twitch account at grand_drip_Jesus with a GEEZUZ. Be sure to check that out, man. I'll be streaming over there all the time. And then be sure to follow the H-Town Rundown. Yes, this account on YouTube, X, as well as Instagram, and at the HTOWN Rundown. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. See you guys next time.